and welcome to the day before Christmas. Merry Christmas to all our readers and those who sail in you. I'm exhausted already. This Christmas I volunteered to deliver food parcels to the local old age pensioners. Yes, I did. And it's costing me a bomb because they're all in Torremolinos. How about this set, eh? Oof, isn't that good? Proof the BBC is not an elitist organisation. We bought all our Christmas decorations from Woolworths in last year's January sales. My wife's cooking is getting better, you know. This year she even set fire to the Christmas pudding. Well, she didn't actually. It spread from the turkey. This week before Christmas, I usually have a quiet evening to myself because my wife goes to her office party. Actually, that's worrying me lately because someone told me that office parties are just an excuse for unbridled displays of lust. It's not that I distrust her, but she doesn't work in an office. Bafflement. On top of that, my brother-in-law, the leech, was arrested for trying to sell holly on the streets. For one thing, he hasn't got a license. And for another thing, Holly is the name of his wife. So life is strange, but I try and I carry it off with the spirit of Christmas. Ah, the spirit of Christmas. Isn't it wonderful? The Archbishop of Canterbury asked Mrs. Thatcher if she had a message for anyone who's a disadvantaged member of society, you know, anyone poor and helpless and without a future. And she said yes. Tell Paddy Ashdown he's a prat. The royal family are joining in, having their own pantomime. What? Yes, they are. They're having a panto. It's a version of Snow White in which Prince Edward and Fergie will play two of the dwarves, Dopey and Dumpy. Yes, one thing's for sure, they'll never get Princess Michael of Kent to play Bashful. But Fergie, I must say, I think she's a bit childish at times. Fergie, childish, because she's written a letter to Santa telling him what she wants for Christmas. So if you see Santa flying overhead with 2 sleighs, you'll know she got away with it. Meet my full house guest.
How you doing?
Great to see you.
Good to see you.
We are all of us moving from the morning to the night time.
Oh, yes,
with
yes.
you.
A great evening entertainment. The chip shops will have to close early.
They will. What time will you be going on the air, do you know?
10 till midnight.
Ah, terrific.
Every night.
The Bruce.
Eh?
Following the Bruce. Descended from the Scots kings.
Well, no, not quite.
Robert the Bruce. Actually, the head of programmes here after my last show said that I should emulate Robert the Bruce.
Oh, you mean the old try again stuff?
No, go and hide in a cave.
Oh.
You, on the other hand, were not born in a cave, you were born in a pub.
Well, it was actually a nursing home that a few years later became a pub. So ever since then, I've always tried to revisit this place of my birth. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Ken is still producing small tots that are quite enjoyable. It's gone from nappies to shorts. But what did your dad do?
He was a shoe agent. Sold shoes.
You mean he acted on behalf of cobblers?
Well, yes.
From the cast of Home and Away who act in cobblers. And so you followed him into that business?
No. I became a chartered accountant after I left school.
Really? Yeah. For big bucks?
Hardly, no. It was, I think, £350 a year the first year.
What do you mean? Yeah. So you had to take a cut in salary to join the BBC?
Oh, yeah, it's a great deal.
Did you start broadcasting right away with the BBC? Or...
Yes, BBC in Scotland, Radio Scotland.
Radio Scotland. Where, of course, the phone-ins are a little different. They reverse the charges. But,
racist.
Oh, no. It's a great Scots voice. Really, you've got Jerrick Jameson and then you and then Gloria Hunniford. It's been 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Radio 2 before we've heard any English spoken. I mean, there's the Scots sound there, and Gloria talks Irish, yeah. And Derek Jameson talks... What the hell is it?
Yeah, nobody's
Nobody knows, Ken. Ken, you've come along here out of the goodness of your great big Scots heart to play for a charity. Will you tell us about the charity?
It's the Muscular Dystrophy Group of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Well,
Ken, I can but wish you well. For every one of these little numbers you light up, we'll be happily give a tenner in cash to that.
Excellent.
As certified by Ken Dodd, and we will make sure that there's a great big winning at the end. Of course, all the prizes I know that you win will go to that, to the Muscular Dystrophy. Thank you very much. Ken, please. Give me something to hold. That's nice. Thank you. Kirby, it's lovely to see you. I asked Ken what his daddy did. What did your daddy do?
My dad is a policeman with the Merseyside Police Force. He has one of these sniffer dogs who goes out searching for explosives.
Gosh, really? That's nerve-wracking. My dad was with the Liverpool Police, mostly on Friday evenings. Then again on Saturday night. You first came to the public eye in Liverpool, because you're a Liverpool lass.
I am, yes.
What district of Liverpool, Debbie?
Mossley Hill.
Oh, right.
Posh bit.
And you were elected Miss Liverpool. And that took you on to not Miss United Kingdom.
Miss Great Britain.
Miss Great.
Quite a long time later.
Yes, but very, very exciting. I could never quite get... When you were with the BBC, I couldn't get used to seeing a beauty queen on breakfast television. Well, enough of Russell Grant. When you went in for those titles, I mean, did you go in confidently and blithely, or were you full of terror?
Absolutely full of terror,
Were
really.
you really? See, my wife, I took her on a cruise, and we went to the Fortune Islands, and she was voted Miss Fortune of 1958. And I woke up with misgivings. It's that joke. So, when you were doing that show for the Beeb, what did you dislike most?
I suppose it was the hours, really, because now, although I work for breakfast television for Channel 4, I present a consumer programme called Streetwise.
Yeah.
That's pre-recorded, but in the old days of breakfast time, I used to have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I've done that. 3 a.m. up, but you've got to go home, otherwise the wife gets upset. No, it's terrific. The Channel 4 show is highly regarded. It's had some lovely mention in the press. And also, it's proving that you have got what you've always demonstrated quite amply to everyone's delight, except apparently to the press, the fact you can combine brains and beauty.
I think you're the best example of that.
Well, of course. Brains and beauty and a beautiful smell. You had a darn good education, didn't you, Debbie? You speak languages?
Yeah, I speak French and German.
I speak fluent French.
Yeah?
Yep. Wie geht's, meine Damen und Herren? Dankeschön. Bitte, vielen Dank.
I hate to say this, Bob, but I think that's probably German.
That's terrific. I speak fluent German as well. Well, that's made my day. Now, whose day are you going to make? Which charity?
The Multiple Sclerosis Society. I'd like to give anything I win to them.
Muscular dystrophy is being taken care of, and multiple sclerosis. Two very worthy choices. Thank you very much, Debbie. Old friend.
Hello, mate.
Every time I see you, I like to think you were named after a tennis score. It's a great name, Love, isn't it, to have? It makes for 1,000 jokes. I've always wanted to introduce you to Lord 40, so I could say, 40 Love. You've had your appearance greatly altered since the first time we met, Adrian.
Yes, I had a little run-in with a credit card and a plastic surgeon and had the bags done under the eyes.
Much publicised, and...
Yes?
I'm very glad, because I think people... they try to hide it, and I don't know why. Why are people ashamed of having surgery, plastic surgery?
I don't know. I suppose it's more a surprise that a man would admit to doing it than a woman would admit to doing it.
I suppose so.
I don't think it shows at all.
Oh, really? If I wanted to lose my bags, I'd fly with British Airways. With the various programs you've done, LBC, you've been with Capital Radio, you've been Radio 2, you've interviewed just about everybody.
Pretty well, yes. Yeah, it's a pretty good mixture. I think it's fair to say I've covered everybody from Bob Hope to Tony Benn.
Oh, you specialise in comedians, don't you? So when do you... I mean, I've heard you from Monday to Friday, of course, on Radio 2. What do you do at weekends?
It's a weekend for sagging at home, sit at home, read the papers.
At the weekend, I never read a newspaper. I get the Sunday Sport. Now, you love to cook.
I try to cook. I'm not too good at most things, but I claim to make the best omelettes on radio.
Simon Bates. You've heard him.
Oh, yes, I know.
He prefers French omelettes. Oh, yes, he's full of crepe. How many years were you with Capital?
5 years. 5 years, but that was doing the phone-in show.
With Anna Rayburn?
Anna Rayburn and the Capital Doctor. Yeah, we
solved a lot of emotional and sexual problems for people.
I think it was the first of those kind of programmes, actually, that other stations picked up on the idea.
I was at a very low ebb at one time, and I went on the radio and discussed my personal emotional and sexual problems. Last time they'll ever let me present Listen with Mother. Oh, we had 5-year-olds being abusive down the phone. But I wonder whether you could help me with a little sexual problem of mine.
Well, I can try.
Excuse me.
The mic. I really think you ought to ask Debbie herself, myself.
I'll catch you later, Debs. You are here this evening to play for your chosen charity.
This is true.
Tell me about it.
It's the SOS, the Stars Organisation for Spastics.
Thank you very much, Adrian. That's terrific. Pamela, where were you born, Pamela? Somewhere exotic.
Borneo.
It's a jungle out there, folks. Why were you in Borneo?
My father worked for Shell Oil. He was a marine engineer.
Ah, my uncle was a marine... Well, he called himself a marine engineer. He changed the oil in sardine tins.
Close.
What did you do there for fun?
Well, I would just swim a lot. You know, that's the one thing you can do in the tropics.
You're a terrific swimmer, aren't you?
I swim as often as I can.
Very good thing at the BBC. Know how to do the crawl. There was a quote I saw in an article about you, which said of your approach to news reading, Pamela, that you said it was fine the first night, but the following morning it was horrible to wake up and realize you had to do it all again.
That's right, I did say that, and you've remembered it very accurately.
Yes, it's because my wife used those exact words on our honeymoon. When you're not working, and I know how hard you do work, how do you relax?
Well, I swim a lot, and then if I go on holiday, I take a lot of books with me. And
you like reading?
Absolutely. Well, I don't read. I lie in the sun and I open them and I lay them across my face to protect my skin, you know.
Oh, right. May I suggest you don't take any Jeffrey Archer novels because they're stinkers? If you're looking in, Jeffrey, I'm only kidding. If you're not looking in... You have a lovely chuckle. You know, you're lovely when you're with doing comedy and you laugh when you have comedians on your show. You've worked with quite a few.
Yeah, I've been very lucky. I've been asked onto some people's shows. I've worked with Les Dawson.
Saw you with Les Dawson.
Blank, and Paul Daniels.
And with
Diddy
Paul Daniels.
Yes.
They're both masters of mystery. Paul Daniels, when he does a trick, it's a wonder. And how Les Dawson gets away with those jokes is a bloody miracle. Would you tell us your chosen charity, Pamela?
Yes, it's the Family Holiday Association, and it's a charity which gives money to families which are on low incomes and helps people who would never go away and have a holiday and have a break.
What a very varied selection of charities we have. Thank you very